We're live. Yes, we're good. We're good. Okay, just making sure that I oh, there it goes. Is that right? Is that right? No. Trying to see if I'm. Hold on. Let's see. All right. So I think we're good, right? Can you guys hear me? Does everything sound okay on y'all's end? I just want to make sure. Specifically, I know Instagram is good, so I think y'all are good on Instagram. But I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me. YouTube, because I haven't said on. Oh, you know what? Okay, can y'all hear me? Well, it's weird. Not used to seeing that. Oh yeah, no, we're good. Okay. I was like, I'm like trying to process. For some reason, I forgot the way this works today. I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, what am I doing wrong? No, I got it. I figured it out, guys. So, hey, everybody, happy Friday. I hope y'all are doing good today. So today is payday challenge day, y'all. So if you got paid today, you can afford $15 or $20, $25. Please donate to a charity. Just because part of my goal is to get people into the habit of giving and gifting and to helping organizations and helping others. It's part of my goal. So in order to do that, I have to do it myself, which is what I posted earlier. So for those of you who saw that post, after you're done with this, go back over. You can look. I have the instructions, and then I have the charities that I found that were pretty good. There are other charities available. You don't have to go with the ones that I offered. And I'm not getting anything personal from these charities, but they're there. So, and then people also, whoever likes to give as well, they can suggest their own as well, or what they're going to be donating to. And so check that out as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, today's Friday, and I'm doing this every single Friday, y'all. So I don't expect you to do it every single Friday, but if you can afford 15, 20, 25 bucks to donate to a charity or to a cause, do so, just because it does make a difference. And I think people get into such a habit of taking, especially with just working and getting money, but not necessarily trying to find a way, being able to give back. This is your chance. So this is a reminder, healthy reminder, right? Don't feel pressured. I'm not going to hate you if you aren't able to do it. But I believe that, sacrificing a meal at a restaurant, or sacrificing a bunch of fast food for one night is better in giving that money to a charity that needs it than to just not even make ourselves accountable or make ourselves responsible for the world that we live in, because this is our world. We are responsible for this place, so we have to be accountable to it, right? And if we want a world that is kinder, more loving, more generous, more compassionate, if we want a world that takes care of its those in most need, this is a way to do that, y'all. So, all right. So go ahead and you can put your questions in the comment section below. I'm not going in any particular order. I've got YouTube. Let me open up the comments over here because I don't have any comments going here. I'm not going in any particular order. If you want to ask me about your life, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me about, but be specific with your question. If you ask me a general question like tell me something, or I want a reading, or what do you see from my love life, those are general questions. You're wasting your time being general. Just be specific and get to it. And that way I can actually see your question and then take the time to answer it. If not, then you're missing out on the opportunity. I've had people message me as like, I love you, I think you're wonderful, but you never pick me. It's not like I intentionally try to avoid picking anybody. I just go with where I'm drawn. And sometimes people don't look at the way they're asking their questions, because if they're not asking the question in the right way, how am I supposed to get to you? So, and not only that, but there's a lot of people that come to these on Fridays and on Wednesdays, and so I can't answer everybody's question. So there's never a guarantee that you're going to get your question answered. I'm just making it possible so that I can get y'all to ask your questions, so I can answer them for you, and because I can do it, right? So if you want to ask me about your life, be specific. If you want to ask me about a loved one in spirit, let me know who you want to connect with. I'll try to connect and bring through anything that can help you to feel validated or to feel the connection that they still are with you and that they haven't disappeared into nothingness. They exist still and they're with you. So that's my job. I'm doing the text or the comment version readings first, because I usually do that first for the first half, and then the second half I'll start bringing people on to video form. So if you want to be on video with me, because we're on like Instagram, we're on YouTube, on Facebook, and I think we're on Twitter or Periscope. But if you want to be on video and get a video reading, you need to get your butt over to Instagram, because that's where I do all the video ones as well. So check that out also. What else? Go to my site. If you want to get a reading from me and you don't want to wait for your question to be answered and you're willing to just have some personal one-on-one time with me, I have different pricing options for different people on the site. And everything's economically reasonable, so it's not like it's completely out of this world expensive. So you can go to my site, fernandomarone.com. Everything's there, because usually after these I get a lot of messages from people asking about, I want a reading, what's your dates, available times, how much you charge. I don't have time to sit there and respond to every freaking person that requests that information. That's why it's on the site. That's why everything is automated on the site. I ain't trying to work harder, I'm trying to work smarter. So check it out. And if you don't know how to get there, if you're on Instagram, right in my bio, there's a button that says website, or there's a button that says book appointment. That'll get you there. If you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, I should have that attached to my thing as well. But if not, just go to my site, fernandomarone.com. Everything's there. I have my podcast on there as well, for those of you who want to just hear the crazy stories and the crazy stuff in my life. I also have my free psychic development courses through my website. It's all on YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel. So everything you want, you can find on my YouTube channel. But if you want to get there easily, you can either go to YouTube and type in my name, or you can just go to my website and then go down to events and classes and click it, and there's the free class right there. It'll take you directly to the course on YouTube. It's free. Again, I don't know how often I can say it's free. So take advantage of it, y'all. What else? I think that's it. Oh, and guys, if y'all, after you take the course, for those of you who are serious in developing your abilities, because everybody can do this. I literally say this all the time. Everybody can do what I do, and sometimes better. My job is to make you as good as I can make you, or better than myself, because I want everyone to do better than I was able to do. And so if you want to seriously learn how to tune into your abilities, take advantage of my challenges. I put out a psychic challenge every week. It's on Instagram. It's not on Facebook yet and on YouTube, but it's on Instagram. And what I do is I put out a challenge. You have the opportunity to tune in and sense in the way that I teach you, and then you can give your answer or response, and I will go in and actually comment and give you guidance and support and help you understand what's going on in your brain. So I'm actually down for helping you to develop, but you have to put in the work. Put in the work doesn't mean just saying one word, I feel hot, and that's it. Break it down. What are you feeling? Let yourself go. It's okay to be wrong. You don't have to be right. It's okay to just share what you're getting. If you don't feel like it's on point, I don't care. Still post it. I want to see the words that, describe what you were getting, because I need to see what's going on in your brain so that I can understand how to help you to get more control and get better and more refined at your sensing ability. So I don't want to hear words like, well, I was bad at this, or I'm off on this. I don't want to hear that. Everybody sucks at first. I sucked at first. So it doesn't matter. Just put in the work and I will help you with it. Okay. All right, so let's get started here. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. So let's get going. So I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just kind of bouncing around. So if I pass you up, don't take offense. If you do take offense, you need to take a damn chill pill, because calm the hell down. Calm the hell down. So, all right, let's go around here. Thanks, guys, for confirming that you can hear me and everything sounds good on Facebook. And by the way, guys, there are trolls in YouTube and Facebook. So if someone messages you and says, I've been drawn to you, my beloved, that's a troll. That's a person who is in a computer in a different country waiting for you to give your credit card information so they can rob you blind. So be prepared. And I can't do anything about it. They're not showing up anymore in my comments on my site, on my Facebook profile, but they're definitely still showing up in the lives. So if someone private messages you asking you to message them or DM them, that's a troll. Don't do it. Block them and report them as spam. Let's see. Shanae. Shanae wants to know about her mom. Yeah, so with your mom, first of all, your mom, what she's doing, she's showing me Mardi Gras. Interesting. So even though didn't that just pass? I think Mardi Gras just passed, right? She's showing me Mardi Gras beads or Mardi Gras. So I'm not sure if you are wanting to take a trip to New Orleans or if there's an opportunity to get out of town for a little while. But I almost feel like she's trying to push you to like get out of your elements and just kind of go on a trip or get your head out of the norm for you, because you might need a little bit of a break in that way. There's if you ever have a lamp if you ever have a lamp that starts to act odd or it's like flicking really fast, that's mom as well, because she's showing me something like that. She's also showing me a white candle, but it feels like it's a blessed candle. I know sometimes people will buy these candles that are blessed or that have these scents and so forth, and they light it for their loved one. She's showing me something like that. So I don't know, you recently just bought a candle, but it almost seems like a white candle, and it has like God, it reminds me of like going to like those, what was that place? That Bed Bath and Beyond, no, not Bed Bath and Beyond, Bath and Body Works. It almost reminds me of like Bath and Body Works because I'm smelling Bath and Body Works. So she's making me smell Bath and Body Works. So if you smell Bath and Body Works stuff or lotions coming up, that might be mom also popping into the picture saying hi to you. Guys, don't be obscure with your questions. If you're obscure, do you see this happening, but you're not actually specifying what you want me to tune into? It's literally a waste of time because I'm not going to sit here and do a full reading. I need you to just get to it so I can get to it myself. Yeah, happy belly, please. I just started a new job and it's been quite challenging. Will I do well and stick with this job and company? So a couple of things about this. One is, I think that someone that's with the job, someone that's currently there or with the company that might be adding on to these challenges for you might actually be popping away or maybe leaving in a couple of months. So that might make a difference for you. I also feel that when that happens, you might be leaned on a lot more, or they may want to put a lot more on you. What I would say is, at first you may think, okay, well, they're not paying me more, so why am I going to take more on? But what I would say is, it might be an opportunity to show what you can do, and then you might have an opportunity to potentially improve your position or your status with the organization and the job, either in November. Yeah, I would say late in the year, so like around November. The reason why I describe it that way is because sometimes back when I used to be a Starbucks store manager and I had my baristas wanted to become shift supervisors, they were like, I want to become a shift supervisor. And usually it's just, they just wanted more money. They had no capacity to be in a position of like control for the store. And so I was like, okay, well, I can pay you more. Paying you more is not the problem. The problem is, can you be a shift supervisor? And this is what I need to see from you. And I would basically let them know, these are the traits, these are the actions, these are the situations that I need from you, so I know that you're serious about this. So some of them were like, well, I'm not a shift supervisor, so I'm not going to do that extra work. I'm like, well, then you don't want to be a shift supervisor. How am I supposed to know that you can do something if you're not doing it and you can't show me an example of it? So if I can't see an example from you, I don't know what you can do, then I'm not going to take you seriously. So take yourself seriously before you come to me with that. That's how I describe it. So I feel like you might have to show yourself or show some things about what you can do to elevate yourself in that situation. Again, general questions like, do you see change for me in the near future, or something to be aware of, are general questions. Waste of time, y'all. Be specific. What are you asking me? Because if you're asking me, do I see a change? Yeah, I see you going from diarrhea to having solid poop in the next few days. What change are you asking me about? Or is something you need to be aware of? Well, yeah, maybe you need to get you probably need to change up your mouthwash because it might be messing with your gums. Like, what exactly are you asking me? Be specific. Don't waste your time. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. And I know some of y'all are like, oh, Ferny, you're a bitch. Yeah, I can be a bitch when I have to repeat myself and it ain't getting through to some of y'all. So come on, I'm here to help y'all, but I need you to help yourself by helping me. So I'm gonna need y'all to kind of work with me here so I know what you're asking me, because I can't read everybody's mind up in here. My brain will blow up. Selena Gonzalez. Hi, Ferny. Does my grandma Elvira have a message for me? Yeah, first of all, It's so interesting because she's showing me her face, and I don't know if she was struggling because something was affecting. So normally when I see like a droopy face on the side, it usually indicates that whenever someone has a stroke or Bell's palsy or they're having neurological issues. Don't know if she was having neurological issues or challenges when she was before she passed, but she's shown me something like this. So what I would say is there might have been something affecting her nervous system, or there was some issues going on there. She wants to make sure that y'all know that everything's fine or she's okay. So I feel like that's where she's going. There's two females. So it may be more than one person, because I almost feel like there's another female that's communicating as well. So I've got your grandma, but I've got another female as well. It might be another grandma or an aunt, but I feel like there's two females trying to communicate at the same time. Your grandma is also showing me flowers. You might actually get, it's been interesting because she's thanking you for flowers. So I don't know if you brought her flowers before she passed, or you put flowers at her where she's memorialized, if it's like a spot, but she's almost giving you flowers back. And so you might have an unexpected gift of flowers from someone random. It's just going to be a gift from her, and this would be soon. So if it hasn't happened in like the last month, this would be within the next 30 days. So keep your eyes out, because this might be her way of letting you know about that. She also makes me feel that she's funny. She's giving you advice. She's like wanting to get all up in your business because she's giving you advice. Watch out for your legal stuff, because there might be some legal issues. Make sure you don't have any outstanding tickets. Make sure there's nothing on a vehicle that has not been taken care of, because it may come back and bite you in the butt and cost more than it needs to. So keep an eye out for that, because she's almost acknowledging something about a vehicle and it costing more than it should. Susanna Meza. So I'm glad you asked the second question, because now I know what you're asking me, because you said, what do you see for my love life? General question, full reading, not doing it. But then you asked, I want to find my soulmate, which means you're asking me, when will you find someone, or when will you get into a serious relationship? So I can just reword your question. I feel like, yeah, so first of all, sometimes you can be a little needy. Sometimes you can be a little bit, you can come across a little intense and attachy, let's put it that way, or needy. And you need to be careful with that, because that may get misinterpreted, and sometimes that may make people want to not go further, or they may only go up to a certain point. So any communications, any new connections that you make this year, be very cognitive of how you're coming across. Now, you may think differently of yourself, but that's okay. I think that I suck sometimes when I'm doing these, but then I go back in a review, I'm like, oh, it wasn't too bad, I was okay. And so what we think of ourselves isn't always like aligned or isn't accurate. So don't listen to yourself in that way. So work on that. I do think that there is someone that's going to pop into the picture 22, 23. I want to say August or September of 2023. Someone's in the picture. I know that sounds like a long time, but that's what I'm seeing. So it's not like I can tell God, hey, like, faster, because she's impatient. No, like, it's what I see. But I feel like in August or September of 2023, I feel like someone's in the picture. I would not be surprised if a year after that you're married. That's how fast I kind of see that moving. I kind of want you to take it slow. I don't think you're going to. I think it will move pretty fast. But the reason why I feel like you need to take it slow when this happens or comes up is because this individual might have a little bit of an anger management problem, and you may not be fully prepared for that, and you may be jumping in before you see that. And if you do that, then it's going to be harder for you to check them. And so they need to be checked, so that way they can work on that. But the person's name is with a PH. Starting is what I think. PH? I'm thinking it's PH. Okay. Haley Michelle Griffin. Hey, Ferny. I'm debating on going back to school. You're going back to school. Do you see me going back? If so, what do you see as a future career for me? It's going to be social work, possibly human resources. So, because it's funny. It's either human resources, social work, or it's counseling. But it's got that vibe to it. You might get pulled in that direction without even intending to. But I do see you going back to school. I don't think it's going to be this year. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it's either in late 2022, so like August of next year, or early like January 2023, because I feel it's going to be a while before you actually make it a point to go back. Rebel Jam. I have to move in 37 days and I am so scared that I will not be able to do this move. Depression is hitting. I'm worried about finances and I am having hard trying to do the basic, but everything looks bleak. Yeah, you might get an unexpected or you might get some help financially. I actually feel like you might end up having like an extra $200 or someone's going to lend you $200, which might help you a little bit. But I also feel like you're not going to be, you won't have a place lined up right away at the end of that period. So I get a feeling you're either going to be staying with someone for a couple months, or you might have to be in like a temporary arrangement for a couple months, and then you can get into another place that I think will work better for you. But I also think that your stuff, you're going to have to work out a different situation for that as well. I honestly wouldn't surprise me if you have to put your stuff in storage, or if you have to have it in one place while you're staying in another place. Because I almost feel like you'll be in one place for a month or two, and then your stuff is in a different place where you are. So that's kind of the scenario I'm seeing for you. So I do not think it's going to be an easy move, but I do think you can make it work. But it's just going to be a little bit of a tricky situation for a couple months. Michelle Cisneros. My dad passed unexpectedly. Is there any messages he wants to relay? Yeah, there's a couple of things with your dad. First of all, I feel like something was building up in his system that may have triggered his system to start to shut down. So there's almost like the buildup of a toxin or of an external thing that's like a toxin. But I also feel like his heart gave out as well. So I feel it's a combination of separate issues. He may not have been himself before he passed, or he may have been feeling or acting odd. And if he didn't say it, you may have just noticed his behavior, but I feel like something felt a little off to me. He is fine. He's shown me the number 2, so I feel like the second of a month or February is significant. He also shows me 3 babies, so I don't know if you have 3 children or if there are 3 babies in spirit that were miscarried, lost, or terminated, but he's acknowledging 3 as well. He's also thank you. He's trying to give me a name a name. I don't know if this is his name or the name of someone that's with him, but it almost sounds like loose. It feels like it's like Lucet. So I'm thinking of like that milk from Albertsons, which is like Lucerne. I think it's a Lucerne milk, but I think of Lucero as well. So the name Lucero. So it's an LUC sounding name that I'm thinking of, but he's showing me that name. So there's a reference to that name as well. If that's someone that's alive, he's just probably trying to say hi to that person, by the way. If it's just like someone that's alive. But he showed me that name. All right, let's go over here. Mm-hmm. Danielle Sanabria. Hey, Ferny, do you see me getting the job at NASA? There are 4 or 5 opportunities that are going to be available. I feel confident you'll get an opportunity. So I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to say yes because I'm seeing 4 or 5 opportunities. I'm like, well, she's bound to get one of them. So I'm going to say yes. However, it's going to sound weird. You may not technically be employed by NASA, the agency. You might be employed or end up having to be employed by like a third party or contractual organization that is tied to NASA. Because it almost feels like, I'm seeing like the buildings, I'm seeing it, but I feel like when I look at my paycheck, some other company or entity is on it. I don't know what that means. So there might just be something that's a little bit like separate there. Karen Osborne Rowe. What does Drake have to say to his mama? So first of all, I keep hearing the Sunshine song, so I want to sing it actually. Like, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. So I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing like a sunshine smile or like a. It's funny, when people put oranges in their mouths and they have like a bright smile. Like that's how I'm seeing that. Okay. He also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. He has shown me, I think, 2 dates. I'm seeing the 3rd, which is either the 3rd of a month or March, and then I'm also seeing the 4, which is the 4th of a month or April. So those 2 dates are going to be significant because he's acknowledging that. He's showing me this, so someone either made a bracelet or someone has like a wrist thing, bracelet, etc. that may also be connected as well. Oh, I love you too, por vida. Audrey Gibson. Hi, Ferny. I am in the process of listing my house for sale. Is this the right decision? Thank you. Hope Roxy feels better. Thank you, guys. Yes, Roxy is doing much better. Every day that I talk to her, she's doing incredibly well. She's going to do a live with me as soon as she's recovered, just because she wants to share some of her experiences with y'all. But also, the day that we did that post where I asked people to like think and envision her and then think of a healing energy, she says that that was like a turnaround date for her, and it's almost like her energy shifted. And so that's cool, because there's, you know, now you could say it's psychosomatic, or you could say it's placebo. I mean, I don't care. If someone has a belief that's stronger and I want to live, or I want to get through this and plow through, that's enough for me. I don't need, you know, they don't need to be fully healed. So, but she's going to come on when she's fully healed. So they're trying to figure out what specifically was going on with her. And I won't tell you too much about it until she shares, because that's her personal business. But because they thought it was a mold, and she's still thinking that it was mold, but there might be other things that were affecting her as well. But I'll let her tell y'all her business when she gets on here. Oh, to your house. I was almost like going to skip your house thing. I think listing your house is a good decision. If you wait too long, it's going to be harder, just because the market, as I've been saying, I feel that when we get to summertime of this year, that the housing market we're going to start to see some declines, and then going into the end of the year as well. There is some inflation stuff coming up, which I've also mentioned last year, that we were going to be seeing some inflation issues as well. So there's some inflation stuff coming up. It's basically the aftermath of COVID. Like, it's because of 2020. And, you know, some of us were like, what the hell is going on with 2020, where, you know, businesses are closed. People aren't like, what's happening? But now we're actually going to start to see the effects of that. And it's kind of like a ripple effect as well. But I do think that it's a good decision to list it right now if you want to. If you wait too long, or if you get close after August, I feel like it's going to be harder. Because I feel like the market's going to continue to dip. And I feel like the market's going to dip, and then also dip into early next year, and then it'll start to come back up. So I'm not feeling like if someone tries to sell property late this year or early next year, it's probably not going to be as easy. It's probably going to be a buyer's market at that point. So if you want to buy property, that may actually be a better time for it. But it's places where the prices have been outrageously high are going to start to fluctuate and fall back down. So just FYI with that, guys. So if you want to sell that property, you probably want to do it before August, because after August, I feel there's going to be more challenges. And this, of course, this is like a blanket statement. This is like not like everywhere, but this is the trend that I'm seeing. Yeah, Camille's parenty. Hi, Ferny. Please let me know what my career will be after the teaching contract is over. I'm struggling making it through this last little bit. I want to know when success will come. Yeah. So here's the thing, and success is it's almost like, when will happiness come? It's not like when happiness comes, it sticks. Like, you have to constantly like work towards it. But as far as like your career and job situation change, what I'm seeing is interesting, because even though you're dealing with the teaching thing, I don't see you teaching, or I don't see you in a teaching role. I see you in a role where it almost feels like I'm seeing a large building. It is like an in-person thing. It is a large facility or building. I'm seeing hallways, and I'm seeing offices. So it does feel like it's an office type environment. It also feels like they deal with, thank you. What they're reminding me of is, I used to work back in the day when I was just starting out right after high school. I worked for the Work Source. It's an organization that helps people and helps to find people jobs. And I worked for them for a while, and I was a receptionist, and I used to go and make sure everything coordinates stuff with all the different reps, etc. But I'm reminded of that. So what you might find yourself working in is some sort of either organization or agency that deals with either onboarding or with training or with a special type of it almost feels human resource like. It just doesn't seem like it's for human resources, but it has that vibe to it. So that's the feeling that I get. So it's got something to do with that. Okay. I'm asking if I can see the front of the building or the logo. The logo looks like The logo looks like a yellow seagull, but it's not like seagull like a bird. It's like the shape of a seagull. So you know when you see a seagull out and it's flying, you know, like I'm trying to make my hands like this. It's flying like this, you know, it's like a seagull. It's got that like ripple like that, and it's orangey or yellowy, and it feels like it's got, and it may even have association. I don't know where you are in the world, but it may have something to do with like coast or some coastal, or there's something there that I'm seeing that reminds me of that. So keep a lookout for that. I actually think you'll do fine with the position, and there might be opportunities to grow within the organization. You will consider, and you'll go back and forth on whether you want to continue teaching or do more in teaching, but it feels like there's something more to this that I kind of feel like you're going to get pulled into and didn't even expect for it to work for you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. La... I don't know. It's La Putetna. La Putekna. I don't know. It's like putet, like puta. Like I don't know if that's what it is or not. It's funny. Yes, I did it yesterday. Thank you for donating. So thanks, guys. And AM Garcia 83. Hi Ferny, I'm pregnant and just having some issues with my diabetes. Do you see me having any issues with the rest of my pregnancy? So you might start having fluid buildup in your legs. You probably need to keep an eye on that. I also think that at some point they may actually put you on some sort of like medicinal liquid that is supposed to help. What is it supposed to do? I feel like it's supposed to help with kidneys or with a kidney infection. So be careful with your kidneys because you might end up with a UTI, which is, is that possible to get a UTI when you're pregnant? It's almost, but I'm thinking of kidneys. So keep an eye on your kidneys and fluid retention. If you start having fluid buildup, you need to go to the doctor because something's going on with your kidneys that you need to follow through with. Okay. Awesome. Camille's, thank you for donating to the Cancer Society or Cancer Organization. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Audrey, for giving to Houston Area Women's Shelter. Really, thank you so much, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. Makes me feel like I didn't fail. like I'm getting it done. Rossi E. Hi, Ferny. I wanted to know what are my spirit guides trying to tell me? I've been seeing signs for the past month. A couple of things here. One is, first of all, some of the signs that you're getting are just letting you know that you're going through or you're experiencing what you're supposed to. So don't feel like you have to question. Just like be in the moment and go with the flow. Secondly, there is an older female coming around and she's pointing to this area. So either she may have had some blockages or some issues in the upper chest area and she's just wanting to come around as a protector. I wouldn't say as a protector. Well, yeah, it's a protector because it almost feels like I'm watching out for you. So that it comes around that way. I'm very careful with telling people like the spirits are protecting you because it's really not their job to keep us from getting into harm unless it's something that goes completely against the plan we set for ourselves before we were born. And so usually there's opportunities there for them to kind of intervene if it's supposed to happen. But it's not like they're trying to keep us from being from dealing with the realities of life because we're here to be human beings. But this female is acting as kind of like a protectorate from you. I also feel if you smell like the scent of flowers or roses, interesting because your name is Rosie, is this connected to them as well because I'm smelling a floral scent. Also, because you are sensitive and you do have evolving psychic abilities, when people start having abilities develop and they're not prepared to deal with the training or with the controlling of them, what tends to happen is you can start to have all kinds of things going on and it may be frightening and scary. This is why I offer the class that I do, guys, because the more you learn and go into it, knowing what you're dealing with, the less likely you're going to run into fear or let fear stop you or keep you from developing any further. But something that you might be experiencing, and pay attention, Rosie, because you might start having scenarios where things have been moved or doors have been left open, etc. I don't think that's a spirit or a ghost. I actually think that's you. What I think is happening is that I think your energy is kind of you're not always dealing with your stress and anxiety in the ways that you need to and expressing it in a way that is healthy. And so you build it up. And what I try to explain to people is sometimes when you have enough energy build up, think of yourself as like a cup, right? think of yourself as like a cup, right? So you are dealing with energy, whether emotional, mental, etc. And so you are designed to hold and to sustain this energies. But if you are taking on more than you're prepared or you're able to cope with and deal with, the cup becomes full. And if you're not finding ways to release that pressure, that energy pressure, what happens is the energy begins to spill over into your environment. And so you're still sustaining energy, but you're also having it spill over out of your energy body system, and it's basically separating itself from you. And what tends to happen is energy attracts itself to each other. So your energy starts to form into a manifestation or a version of you that is based in those emotional states or those states of being. And sometimes it isn't the funnest thing to experience, because most people who start having those experiences start to describe them as like poltergeist like activity. It's not a ghost, it's not a spirit, it's your energy, your kinetic energy that is starting to react and started to formulate into its own thing. So you have to bring peace within yourself, and you also have to work on releasing and reducing the pressure within yourself, because that'll start to bring that energy level down, and then you'll resume or reabsorb the energy within yourself, so it's not a separate thing from you. And then you can have better control of your life and the experiences that you're having. Get lost in the not. I was like, get lost in the nachos. Get lost. Oh, nachos! I'm craving them now. Get lost in the chaos. That's what you're trying to say. I have started applying for jobs to join the workforce after having my son. Any leads on where to stick myself in? Yeah, I actually think that you might find work at a either rehab center or at a facility. I feel like it's medical, or it's a type of medical facility, but it's not like a clinic or like a hospital. It feels more like a place where either people are recovering from injuries, and so it's kind of like an outpatient center, or it's a rehab center, or it's a like a special needs / autism like facility. There's something like that I'm seeing. So it feels like it's got something to do with that, but it feels like you're working less with people and more with the administrative side of things. So it's more administrative in nature, not with like the people themselves. I think that requires like speciality, but I feel like there's something there that I'm seeing you getting into. You might find this opportunity. Keep looking and keep going and applying wherever. But I feel like someone might tell you, someone you know might tell you, like a neighbor or someone might tell you about this and by July. And I think that this is when you'll start moving in that direction. All right, let's bring somebody on. Let's see. Let's see. Hello.
Hi. Oh my
Hi,
God, I
Kira.
look like a hot mess. I didn't think you
You're
were actually gonna
fine.
do it.
You're fine. People who still look good, even when they're not prepared, like they get on my nerves. So you get on my nerves because you look
You know,
good
I'm
even though
just
you're not
gonna
trying.
embrace the natural beauty. It's
Ah.
fine. I was like, I felt like I was watching sitcom because I was listening to you talk, and because I'm working too, and then I was like laughing my ass off because of the stuff
Oh,
you were
well, thank you.
saying.
I'm glad you find me fun. I'm glad you find my soul shattering and changing work funny. No, I'm glad. I'm glad. I want people to like enjoy themselves at least, and when I'm not bashing them with my sassiness.
Amazing. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, I'm in a place right now where I'm very grounded. I'm 27 years old. I'm going through my lunar return in my astrology chart, and I have my own place. I have a successful business,
Mm-hmm.
and I am looking for a partner. And as of recently, I've been feeling like a male partner, to be specific. As of recently, I've been feeling like I I I've only been in like two committed relationships when I was really young, like when I was 18,
Mm-hmm.
18 and 20, 18 to 20. And ever since then, I feel like I dated when I was younger than now. Like now I don't, like, I go on dates and stuff, but I haven't been in a committed relationship, or have I been in a place where I feel like where I feel like, oh, this is gonna be the person that I spend the rest of my life with.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been studying my natal chart a lot, and relationships are really important for me. But I feel like there's like this blockage or something is
No.
like not
No,
clicking through, where it's like, why am
no,
I not finding my life
no, no,
partner?
no. You're misinterpreting your energy. So relationships are important, but you're having those relationships through the work that you do. So you're establishing and building relationships through the work that you do. There's three things I want to tell you first because I was seeing other things, and then I'll come back to what you're asking me about. If you look at your mouth, go to the bottom set, and then go over all the way to the back on the left side of your jaw. Two teeth in or three teeth in, there's a tooth there that's probably going to need some attention. So be prepared for that because there's something going on there. So that's one. Secondly, you're going to have to upgrade your space because you're going to be taking on a lot more. So you're going to need a bigger space. Do you have your own like office or your own space?
It's so funny that you're saying that because there's two things. My tooth is coming in.
Mm.
My wisdom tooth is coming in. Second, I'm moving into a new apartment that has an ocean view that I've manifested, and it's bigger, and I'm moving on June 1st.
Perfect. So so I think that's going to serve you. So that's a big deal. But later this year, you're going to have an opportunity to not only make this move with your living space, but also through work. There's a center or facility that you may also have a chance to be a part of or do something with. I would say it's going to feel very big because it's going to feel like it's a lot more than what you're already doing. But I would say do it because you're going to make the right contacts through this association.
Okay.
So that's another thing. Now, it doesn't mean you have to stay with this organization or with these, but just take advantage of meeting new people or connecting because that's going to open some doors for you. Okay. Back to the relationship. You're so driven and you're so focused on your own sense of well-being without needing anybody to give you a handout that's where all your energy has gone to. If you, let's say hypothetically, if something happened to you tomorrow and you had not achieved some of the things that you're working on now and happen, you would be so upset with yourself because you would say, God, yeah. So you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. If you got into a relationship right now, it's going to suck up a lot of your creative and your productive and manifestational energy. So you would not be served in this exact moment with a relationship. Mm-hmm. However, there's a friendship or a new connection that I am seeing. It may start this year, but I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere right away. It may happen around September, October-ish. He's got like, it's funny because I'm seeing like reddish hair, but I'm seeing the name Jet Black. And I'm like, why am I seeing that? So what I would say is there's something about Jack Black, right? Jack Black? Yeah, Jack Black. He's like a producer or a media person or whatever. So this person might be in media work, or they may have something to do with like media or online stuff. I'm thinking of Nava now. So now they're showing me Nava. Nava's a friend of mine who is he makes docs and all this other stuff. So this person's definitely into this kind of stuff. At first, y'all may connect just because this may be an opportunity to actually be connected with your work and this person through something that you're doing at the time, but you may not see the connection right away until next year. Because I think on spring or summer of next year, something's changed in their situation and there's almost like a change in y'all's dynamic and something seems to be on the horizon with that. So that feels like it would be a better opportunity for you. Their name, they have a Hispanic name. They don't look Hispanic at all. I would actually think that they were like Irish, but they have a Hispanic name.
That would make sense.
The first name I would say is like Carlos, but I don't feel like that's it. But it may start with me.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And then just one last question. Do I have any spirit guides?
Everybody does. Yeah, you have two primary guides. Most people have one. You have two. Some of what you're doing in this lifetime, you're making up because you bailed in your last lifetime. Actually, I think you committed suicide in your last lifetime. So you had like depression and you were bipolar and you were struggling a lot. This is back when people would go and get shock therapy. Like this was like a really tough thing for you. So in that lifetime, you didn't finish or do what you were supposed to do. So some of that may come up in this. So if you ever think you're manic or you're like, it's okay because it's part of the trend and the theme that you're working through. You two guides. The main guide's name is, I feel like it's a female, also C name, Corina.
Corina.
Not Corina. Yeah, Corina.
Okay.
Like Corinthians, but Corina is how I want to describe it.
Okay.
The second one is a male. I think his name is like Jaab. job. I don't even know what that would what it almost I'm almost seeing Syrian scripts, so he might be Syrian, but it's like JAAB is what I'm thinking.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. All of this resonated very well. It feels really good. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. Well, you take care of
Have,
yourself and enjoy your
you too.
weekend and take some more time off.
Okay, I will. I know. I need to close this laptop. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
All right, let's see. Bring somebody else on. Let's see. Hmm. Hello, Grandjoy.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you too, girl.
I'm at the nail shop. Jesus
Oh, you're
Christ.
fine. You're fine. Let me see you. I want to see your pretty face. There you
Oh
go.
my God, I look crazy. You see my hair? It's insane.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm great. Hold on a second.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh my God, Jesus, I didn't expect you to pick me
I
up.
am so in need of a pedicure and a manicure. I have not
It's
had
been a
like
week.
over a year. It's like
Oh shit.
you're you're fine.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. What do you want to ask me about?
I had a very like crazy dream the other night about my dad and my brother. They were both deceased. And I honestly never dream about my dad. And I was just wanting to know, am I just missing them or were they trying to tell me something?
What happened in the dream?
God, it was so. And me and my dad were living in some weird city together, and like, I don't know, maybe doing a business or something. And my brother would kind of pop in and out. It's all vague now, but at the time it was extremely vivid. Like,
Yeah,
I could have read it back right away
yeah.
that day. You know what
I
I mean?
Yeah, so here's a couple things. I do think that they were visiting with you, so I do think it was a visitation, but I don't think it has to do with them. It has to do with you. What I think is happening
Mm.
is that you might have an opportunity to pour your time and energy into either a business, an investment, or a new project. And if you have an opportunity to do so, it might feel a little bit unnerving because it may feel very out of your out of your special your area of expertise, and you may feel a little uncomfortable because it's that you're used to, but feel bad. And in fact, it may be an opportunity for you, but you may just have to get comfortable with being out of your
Okay, I received that.
yeah. So that's what that's about. Your dad, I'm smelling smoke. Was your dad a smoker?
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Around and you'll smell that smoke. That's his way of letting you know that he's around you. So FYI, thank you. Um, Ray Charles. Is there a connection to Ray Charles or Ray Charles's music?
And my dad, like, old.
Okay, there might be a Ray Charles song that he might have a connection to, or you may find or end up seeing something that has to do with an old song. It doesn't feel like when you see this, it's going to be Ray Charles's name. It would be like a reboot of the song, but it's going to be connected to this old Ray Charles song that might be connected to your dad. Keep an eye out for it as well. There's a female with him. It feels like a grandmother. Is his mom also there?
Yes.
Okay, there as well. Acknowledge that she's also there as well.
I'm sorry, it was
Uh,
OPIA.
in spirit also. Do you know of a child that was miscarried, lost, or terminated?
Recently, sure, yeah.
Because there's a baby with acknowledging a baby with him in spirit as well. So letting you know about that also. Butterfly symbol from Dad. He's gonna have butterflies landing on your windows or on a windshield. Keep an eye.
Okay, I will.
Okay, he's with you. They're with you, sweetheart. Your brother's laughing. He's like smiling and he's like showing me his teeth, like he wants to show off his teeth. So I'm guessing he wants to make a point of that. But he's also there as well. He's happy, by the way. He says he's not lost. All right.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Enjoy.
I will.
I'm gonna live vicariously through you because enjoy it.
Okay, thank you, Ferny. Bye.
Bye bye. All right, let's see who's next. Who's next? Here we go. Here it goes. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
So I had a miscarriage last year in 20, or I'm sorry, 2 years ago, 2019. And I just want to know if she's still with me. Her name is
Mhm.
Kennedy.
Yeah, she's coming back. She's like, you're not ready for this jelly. Like, she's coming back, so she makes me feel that way. Um, the way she's making me feel, first of all, yeah, I am seeing. Do you have a necklace with a little print?
I do.
Okay, she's acknowledging that. Thank you. I'm seeing stars in the sky. Do you know if there's a star ornament or a star name that's connected as well?
Yes. I actually got it was a globe I got in the hospital.
Okay, so she's acknowledging that as well. She's the way she's making me feel is almost like her body wasn't prepared or could keep up with what her needs were, and so
That's
it
exactly
was,
what happened.
yeah, so it's almost like there was too much and her body just couldn't do it. So she makes me feel like she's gonna try to get back in. I feel like she's gonna come back in, so don't be surprised if within the next year or two you're pregnant again or you have another baby on the way, because she's making me feel she's coming back in. She also wants the same name because she says you can just name me the second, or you can spin it in a different way, but she wants the same name because she says thank you. There's a person there. Is there another person with a name in spirit?
Um, Her middle name, yes.
Okay. The person that's with her who's got the name, they're like, I don't want this name out there. So they're wanting to make sure that they get used. So okay. Thank you. Are you also thinking about going back to school?
I am actually.
Okay. Go for it. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for you. You
Yay.
won't have to cover all the costs because I think like part of it will be under either a program or you'll be able to like take like the government might cover some of the costs. So
Perfect.
mhm. Yeah, she's
Thank you
coming
so
back.
much.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, let's see. Hello. Hi,
Oh
sweetheart. How
my
you
God. Hi.
doing? I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Hi. Let me see if I can go somewhere with signal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't think you'd pick me.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's like this. I'm like, I try to. I try. All right.
So my ex-mom, she passed
Mm-hmm.
away. And I just wanted to know, it's like, are there any messages that
Mm-hmm.
has had for me, or she's trying to like reach out to me in any
Yeah.
type of way that I may be aware of?
Do you know if she yeah. She showed me a few things. First of all, do you know if there was 2 or 3 incidents with her health or with her situation before she passed?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you also know if her heart also gave out or there was cardiac arrest part of the equation?
I think they did CPR on her a few times in the
Okay.
hospital.
I was about to ask because she makes me feel like when you're trying to like bring somebody back, and that's what she's showing me. So I feel like, okay, I'm trying to like bring somebody back. She also makes me feel like, thank you. She was she also taking a lot of medication when this happened?
I believe so because she had cancer.
Okay. The way she's making me feel is that the combination of her body just being at its limit and then her having all this excess medication, she's acknowledging that this was going on, and then there was a electrical trigger from the brain that started to cause other things to go crazy that led to her passing. So she makes me feel like the incidents or the events prior to her passing were basically like God telling her, you it's coming, so you need to prepare yourself and make sure that you have enough time with people so that you can make your exit. So it was just time with her is what she was buying her time, is how she makes me feel. She's showing me the number 220 or 20. It's either the 20th or the 22nd. Do you know if the 20th or the 22nd is connected?
The 20th is my daughter's birthday, and the 22nd is my birthday of December.
Perfect. So she's acknowledging your birthdays. She's wishing y'all happy birthday. She also says to buy your daughter something for her because she wants her to get her gift as well. She also
Yeah.
keeps acknowledging yellow Flowers and yellow birds are going to be significant. So you have experiences with yellow flowers and yellow birds. That's coming from her as well. She says she came in 2 dreams, and she also showed up for your daughter as well. So she says she's been trying to make her presence known so that y'all know she's around. She also says you need to have, thank you. Has your significant other been really struggling and like kind of going into a bit of a personality change since her passing?
Yeah, but he's my ex now, but
Oh,
yeah.
it makes sense to me now. Because I was about to say there might be some issues going on. I was assuming you were still married. There's some issues there. So she's making me feel like even though he's your ex, you don't have to always make it work for your daughter. Like, it's okay if you just want to like not have to try so hard. So she's almost giving you permission to just do what you have to do for yourself. She also says that you're not responsible for him, and if he starts to like go into a completely different tailspin, you're not responsible for that. So she's making sure you
Yeah.
understand. Thank you. She's trying to give me a nickname or a name. It's either hers or it's connected to someone she's trying to talk about. I keep thinking of like B-E.
Oh
Would
my
you like,
God. Oh my
it's,
God.
it's like,
Yeah.
okay, who is that?
Ditto.
But, oh,
Her son, him.
okay. Oh, okay. Then see, she's just trying to give me his nickname then. So she's just trying to acknowledge him, make sure that I'm getting the message properly. She's
Right.
affirming what she's saying. She's affirming what she's saying. Also, there's a female with her that's on your side of the family. Is your mom also passed? Your grandma?
No.
Okay. There's a
No,
female
grandma.
on your mom's side of the family who's also passed. She wasn't the nicest person, and she could be a bit of a bitch. But this is a female on your mom's side of the family who's wanting to pop in and apologize to either your mom or to the sisters about the confrontation or about the misunderstandings. So it's on your mom's side of the family, and it's a female. It is older than you, so it's not like your level. It's like either your mom's height or older.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
So, sweetheart. Also, keep an eye out for fibroids because you might have a tendency for fibroids or fibrosis, and if you let one go untreated for too long, it might cause some issues down the road. So keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
If you start feeling any
Thank
like
you.
sensations on your side or in your abdomen, that's your sign to
Yeah.
go to the doctor. Okay. All right,
Wow. Okay.
all right, darling. Well,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
Thanks. You too.
All right, let's see, going here. Oh, declined. Declined. That's okay. Here, let's go here. Let's see.
Connecting.
Hello. Hi,
Hi, I'm
sweetheart.
like, I'm connecting.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for
That's great.
asking. What do you want to ask me about?
Well, I wanted to ask you because I've been working on my spiritual journey, and I have my daughter here and my grandchildren here,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets a little
Mm-hmm.
complicated sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because I want to meditate. I want to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then my mom and my dad, like my dad's anniversary of his death is coming up. I wondered if there was any messages from them.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm going to split the first one into one question, which is, I actually think that you will be able, okay. If you want to get your own space or you want to have more space, you might have the opportunity in July, but I'm not sure if you're going to be 100% on board with it. So it may be something that you just end up waiting. By next summer, though, 2022, I definitely feel like you'll be in your own space. So I expect that by next year, 2020 summer, you'll have your own space and it'll be much better situation for you. With your parents, your dad, he's coughing for me. Do you know if he had cancer?
No, but he coughed all the time. He smoked.
Oh, okay, got it. Because what he's showing me is like when you coughing, and like I'm seeing coughing, and I feel like I'm coughing up blood as well. Because he's showing me this image, and I was trying to figure out if there was cancer in his lungs or if there was something there. He may have actually had some ruptures or some things in his lungs that were actually causing more pain for him. Did your dad not always express himself or share his emotions?
No, never. I mean, not when he was ill.
Okay.
Everything was good all the time.
Because he makes me feel like he kept people in the dark and didn't want to tell them things because he didn't want them to worry about him and he didn't want to like take people away from what they were supposed to be doing. So he's acknowledging and actually apologizing that he didn't share more about what he was struggling with, because he says sometimes he felt like he needed to be either the strong one or he needed to maintain this like exterior. But he does make me feel like it was not an easy process for him, especially towards the end. He also keeps it, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging he should have gone to the doctor sooner. Did he wait too long to go and get some medical care?
He went. He was a disabled veteran, so he went on his appointments every month.
Okay.
So he
was it?
I don't know if he was feeling bad and he didn't go. I knew that day that he passed.
I'm seeing 2 years of this. Was he having to do something for about 2 years before he passed?
He kept passing out. He kept coughing and passing out.
Got it. Okay, because he's showing me this. I don't know if they were trying to have him only have one type of healthcare or one type of benefits right before that happened, before that 2 year period. But he's making me feel like he should have gone to another doctor or to a specialist, because that would have worked better for him. Because he makes me feel like either he didn't get all the care he needed or they missed something, and so he's acknowledging that would have made it a little easier for him. He also makes me feel. Thank you. He is okay. Were you there? Were you holding his hand when he passed?
No, he went to the store and they found him in his truck.
Okay, he's showing me his hand. So he's showing me his hand. I'm trying to figure out why he's showing me his hand. What's interesting is I feel like I need to do something weird with my hand, like bend it or like squeeze it. So there's something here he's showing me that has to do with his hand that he's trying to get me to understand. He also, do you remember if he used to do this a lot, like just do this and stretch his hand and stretch his hand and stretch his hand?
No, that was not my, we're talking about, the only dad I knew was my stepdad. So, I mean, this is my stepdad that I'm thinking of, that I'm talking to you about. So anything with his hand, I'm thinking my uncle was doing stuff with his hand.
Well, because I feel like what I'm doing here, it's almost like when the nerves stop reacting and I feel like something's wrong and I'm trying to like stretch or get it to like do something. That's how he's showing me this visual of this. So either he was having sensations and he was trying to like do something with his hand to kind of like get it to stop, or he was misunderstanding what was going on in his body and it was something else altogether. But he thought maybe it was like a nerve, or maybe he was losing feeling in his hands. Do you have his? Thank you. Do you have a work badge or like a, oh gosh, what is this? Is it a badge or is it like a pocket thing? I'm seeing two things and I'm trying to figure out which one it is. It's either like a work ID or it's like whenever someone has a uniform and they have their special, like they have the name or the thing on the uniform. Do you have something like that for him?
No, he didn't work. He was disabled veteran, but he had the disabled veteran card, the card that I have, but I have it somewhere, but it was like I treasure that. That's
do you have a uniform for him when he was in the military that had so here's what I'm seeing, and I'll describe it this way. So my grandfather, when he passed, even though he was also a veteran, they found a uniform because he didn't have one. They found a uniform and they buried him in a uniform and actually had his name put on the thing. He's showing me something that reminds me of that, but I'm trying to figure out if this is a uniform with a name or if this is actually like a work tag. Now you said he wasn't working, but he's showing me a tag or it's a tag or it's a identification. Now, if he was in the military and he had a military ID, it's possible he's trying to tell me about the military ID. Do you still have an ID or a tag of his?
I want to say I do, but I don't know where it's at.
That's a
yeah, okay. It's from the Veterans Hospital, actually. That's what I have. I don't have his military nothing. He got rid of it. He did not want to have nothing to do with that. Yeah, because he was in the Vietnam War. And
they put them through it. He's showing me this tag. It's a military tag. So even though he wasn't 100% on board with the military, when he passed, he's showing me this military tag or identification. So there's something there that he's acknowledging. So if you don't know if you have it, you might find it. Just know probably acknowledging that. He also keeps, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging, he wants to correct me. He says he's not your stepfather. He's your father.
That's right. He's not.
He says he doesn't like to be called your stepfather.
Nope.
He's like, he's almost a little bit like testy about it. Like,
yep.
No, I like her more than I like my child. So he's almost like acknowledging that. He also keeps it, thank you. Clocks and cuckoo clocks and timers are going to be connected to him as well because he's acknowledging that. Did you also just buy a new couch or buy a new living room? Because he says he knows what you just did. So he says he's been watching you and he's been with you.
Good, good. I smell him. He smokes,
Yeah.
so I smell him.
Yeah.
I know he's
Yeah.
here. I'm like, oh, Grandpa's here. I can smell him. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sometimes
that's
if you ever want to light something for him so that he can, he will appreciate that.
okay.
Okay. All right, sweetheart. You take care of yourself. By the way, before I get off, you need to express yourself creatively. And if you want to write stories in books with pictures, that's something you should consider. Because when I first saw you when you got on camera, I kept seeing you writing in a book, and I kept seeing this visual of like, it almost felt like artwork, but it was also writing as well. So I feel like poetry or something in a book, writing art would be a good thing for you to help you connect further with your spiritual.
I'm journaling.
Perfect.
I'm journaling. Yeah.
Do
Got
some
all
more,
my books over here.
perfect. Do some more art because it'll be beneficial for you as well.
Okay.
Okay. All
Thank
right,
you.
sweetheart. You're welcome, darling. You take care of yourself.
You too. You too. Thank you so much. Bye. I don't know how to turn it off.
I got it. I got it. All right, guys, I'm done. I'm out of time. I got to go for my walk. I'm going to be back in about an hour because I'm going to be doing our study group time. So I will be back in about an hour for our study group.